Hi guys and welcome to thrustzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. What is in front of you is Ampere's brand new scooter, the Primus. It has been launched at 1.09 lakh rupees and we're out in Chennai to test ride it. There is not going to be a range test. This is going to be a first ride review of the scooter, and let's dive into the details, and which includes design, features, and let me explaining how is it to ride. We've had a quick impression on the scooter, and let me just go through the design first. And when it comes to the design, it is one of the most conventional looking electric scooters that we've come across, at least on our channel, for the first time, where it looks like a conventional scooter and at the same time it's a fully electric one. So it is going to have a larger audience appeal in that way, and it is going to make sure that people of all ages and size and are going to be attracted to the Ampere Primus here. And it is a good design, maybe slightly dated at the same time, but then the conventional aspect is much bigger than everything else. You've got this huge front panel apron here, which is very huge, and it's got even bigger turn indicators here, so too big to my liking. And you've got these alloy wheels. The matte blue paint over here looks really well done. You've got the piano black finish here, and you've got a silver thing going on here. The grab rail is in dark grey color. You've got contrast stitching for the seats and a contrast color as well for the seat. And at the back you've got a typical tail lamp here, and again you've got a footrest here, which is also very conventional, something that you don't see on electric scooters because they're designed in a completely different way. You've got this sort of exhaust looking shield here, but it has vents in it, and it's form and function at the same time, so that's really impressive. Quality is good, could have been better. Finish in certain areas could have been better, and but we'll still give it an 8 out of 10 indeed. The switches are a little hard on this one, and I think this is something that will also get better with time. This is a brand new scooter indeed, and you've got a very nice eco, city and power button here. That's the start button. That's how you start the ignition. There is no button yet. You've got a space here, a hook here, and a humongous floorboard which is completely flat, so that is really impressive. The load capacity of course is 150 kgs, so I think a lot of stuff can be taken here. And as you can see, there are indicators on both sides, so solitary turn indicators are seen after a really long time on some scooters. The instrument cluster of course is a little basic, and it could have been better at this price point, but then again it is showing you everything what you need to know. You've got a trip meter, that is the distance to empty in power mode. When you take it in eco mode and you run it for a kilometer, it will tell you that how much range is pending. And as you can see, the battery is at 80%, and that is sort of a fuel gauge for the battery basically. So it's a battery gauge per se, and that's the time right there. And it has Bluetooth connectivity. It will show you navigation and other aspects via the mobile app. And you've got the horn button here. Like I said, quality is okay, could have been better. Finish also could have been better for most areas, but then again at first sight and even at a slightly closer look, it continues to impress. If it's only that when you truly go deep down, you'll realize certain finishing could have been better. Again, I like the alloy wheels here, and there is a drum brake on both sides on this top end variant as well. There is no disc brake, and since the region is very high, both drum brakes work really well. You've got combi brakes as well, and that is how you open the boot from here itself on the key. And the space here is quite big as well. As you can see, this helmet can fit here, and we've shut it down, and that is the light here, which makes things easier in the night. And lot of storage, 22 liters to be precise. And Ampere has made sure that there is still enough ground clearance because the battery and motor are sitting right there somewhere below, and that's a great job. Again, there is form and function here with these vents. So what is the Ampere Primus like to ride? Well, let me begin off with certain numbers. This scooter will charge in between 4 to 5 hours. This is fast charging compatible. Within fast charging it will charge around 2 hours, so that's a nifty move by Ampere here. And the other aspect is it's a 3.8 kilowatt battery motor. There are no horsepower and torque numbers of course this time around, but what we can tell you is that the top speed is limited to 75 kilometers an hour, and in power mode it has a claimed number of 109. Since this is our first ride out of the city, out of our own home city, we can't range test it yet due to shortage of time as well. What we can tell you is that Ampere has made this scooter to make sure that it delivers on the customer request that they need a 100 kilometer range scooter from charge to charge. So it should deliver around that mark, and I think that is quite impressive for a scooter that handles quite well. Ride quality is actually very good. Stability is excellent because the wheelbase is very long at 1390 mm. I think this is one of the longest of the lot, and despite the battery is kept low, there is enough ground clearance. At the same time, the seat height is also quite low, but that also means that you are going to sit a little knees up. The shorter you are, the better it is. The taller you are, you're going to feel like you're sitting knees up in a 7, that's how it's going to feel like. You're going to be sitting knees up, and that's not very comfortable. You'll have to push back and sit to make sure that that doesn't get uncomfortable on a longer journey. Apart from that, like I said, ride quality is very impressive, stability is very good. It went through some really bad roads that we threw in the remote section of Vellore here in Chennai, and it handled all of that really well. We kept the scooter on in absolute scorching heat, and there was no overheating issues. Of course, we were not riding it in the city. Whenever we rode, after putting it on standstill, we rode on the empty highways, and the battery cooling has been definitely working really well. There is no limp mode happening here. There are a lot of vents throughout the scooter to make sure that cooling is effective, and it is actually quite good. Since the scooter has been developed here as well, so that's the reason why Primus is able to do that. And like I said, I don't have complaints when it comes to ride handling or stability. Brakes, well, there is drum brakes on both sides, and along with engine braking, I think that is enough on board, enough braking. And the comfort, I can't tell you more about it yet, how it's going to be on a longer journey. We did manage to put 40-50 kilometers on it, and we have a very solid impression of what the scooter is. But of course, the real deal will come when it comes for a road test and a longer review, when we can tell you more about the range and the possibilities. This scooter is of course priced at 1,10,000 rupees. The feature list is good enough, the quality is good enough, the range is good enough, everything is fine. We would have wished for a higher top speed, but then again, this is something that Ampere can do right now, and in the future, if this formula gets the thumbs up from customers, as well as long-term reviews are good enough, then I'm sure Ampere can look forward to a scooter which can do the 100 and 120 or something like that speeds, and yet deliver the 100-120 kilometer range as well. And so a very bright future for Ampere if everything goes smoothly. This scooter definitely does impress. It has everything on paper: the price, the range, the quality, the looks. We are impressed with the conventional looks that this scooter has, because it will appeal to a larger audience. And that's what these are the 4 points that make the Ampere Primus a very good scooter in its category. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow us on our website and social media for everyday updates. Until then, goodbye.